got Brian. Come on out.
What's going on? You know, just like karma, if you have a little patience, good things will happen. Let's jump right into the list. Jason Lee.
What's up, y'all? Sorry for the delay, but we're here.
Next up, Jamie Presley. Crabman. And Steve.
Let's go, man. Eddie.
Ethan Super. We're gonna jump right into this. So we got 2 mics. If you want to ask questions, line up and we'll just start firing away, right? So how's it going? How's the photo op?
Everything got a little mixed up, and so there was a bit of a delay. Thanks for being patient, guys. It ran over the photo op, but we're here.
How's everyone's flight in? I heard TSA's been a little wild this weekend.
Easy breezy on mine.
And I took a red eye Wednesday night that got me in Thursday morning, so I could sleep. And so I was good too.
Mine was late, and then we sat on the runway for over an hour just waiting to take off. Yeah, I don't know what to say. But I made it.
Your flight was not great?
I had 2 flights, they were both delayed.
Let's get started.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Chicken butt.
That was great. You got a question over here?
How was it like filming the Cops episode?
Oh, that might have been one of our favorites. I mean, we did 2 Cops episodes, and to us, that was like some of the most fun, I think, we could have because it was so ridiculous. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was silly and loose. It was all handheld. Those episodes, they were a lot of fun.
Remind me of reading that one.
Yeah.
Were we there first? You were? When we found out we were doing another Cops episode, it was really exciting because it sort of felt like they were 2-parters, both of them, I think, right? So it kind of felt like we, in a way, kind of paused normal production and made it like a little movie because it was 2 parts.
Well, and we got to bring everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
All the characters
Yeah,
got to come
that's
back.
right.
So that was fun.
Well, thank you for answering. Enjoying this year, con. Jamie,
Thank you so much.
You did. And you brought her out and brought man.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Over here.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm a volunteer, so I gotta take off after this.
Thank you for volunteering.
Oh, thank you. I just had a question about the finale. If there was a plan for the 5th season, where do you think, Joy's youngest was it? If Crabman wasn't the father?
It would be Earl Jr.'s. Who's Earl Jr.'s father?
Yeah.
We have this like funny answer, but ultimately, we would like to be able to finish that story. And just so you guys know, there's a reboot of Malcolm in the Middle coming back. And they were on at the same time we were, and were also produced by 20th, like we were. And if that reboot does well, there's already been calls made to 20th that if that one does well, they will talk to us about rebooting Earl. So that means you all have to watch Malcolm in the Middle reboot.
Thank you. I've just been wondering about that for years.
I want to do it. We can all guess, but the truth is we didn't know that it was going to end because it shouldn't have. That was the fault of one man. But at the end of the day, let's just hope that we get to finish that story.
Thank you.
So, I have two questions. That said earlier, my first question is, how did you first look at your role, and like, how did you like think the character, and like, how did you come about being the characters of each individual? Like, how did you become Earl? Like, what was your thought process?
I mean,
How
I
did you
just
become
did
Earl?
everything I could to rip off what Nicolas Cage had done in Raising Arizona. Ray Garcia, the creator of Earl, and I are huge Coen Brothers fans, and we reference Raising Arizona a lot, of course. And we liked that we were sort of able to get away with kind of creating our own kind of wacky world on network TV. So we drew a lot from that. But then it was also grounded in a lot of heart, and we were hoping that the audience would root for Earl. And I think the characters overall, including Joy, ultimately very likable, and so we tried to ground it as much as we could while being really, really silly. Nice. Yeah.
As far as Joy goes, there were. She was a bitch, but I needed her to be lovable, a likable bitch, right? And that was a fine line. But the writing really, we can't take credit for the writing. And this is not a show where we physically, as far as like physical comedy goes, yes, we did what we wanted, right? That was all us as individuals. But when it comes to the writing, in television, everything's timed out to a T, because you only have a certain amount of time to tell a story. The writing in this show, every time we got a script, there was no need for a change. I don't think there were ever any revisions made. They were just so good the second that you got them, right? And so it was really, I messed myself up by being able to speak really fast and long run-on sentences, and then that became Joy, and they wrote it that way, and I was like... Because we worked really long hours, like Monday morning, I'd get in the hair and makeup chair at like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., and by Friday, we were getting off at 5:30 a.m. the next day, Saturday. So it was a lot. But as far as Joy goes, I referenced a lot of people that I don't want to say that I grew up seeing, but I did. And then the chewing gum came from, bless her heart, I don't want to make fun, but there was an interview of Britney Spears with Matt Lauer, and she was smacking gum the whole time, and I'm like, that's Joy. And so there were just, different things, but the physical part of it, this whole thing, which threw my back out. If you had any idea what my chiropractor bills were. But that was something that there was a woman that worked at a daycare that I went to growing up, who the second you did something wrong, she'd be across the damn yard. She'd be like this. What'd I tell you? and I was like, that's Joy. And so I kind of drew from, all, like different people that I grew up around, and then interviews and whatever, but I wanted her to be likable too. And the thing is there's so much heart in this show, the way that they wrote it, that you couldn't help but love all these characters for their flaws and all,
What about the Crab Man? How did you become Crab Man?
For me, it was, I was basically copying my 5-year-old nephew. As well as Charlie Chaplin for The Walk.
The Walk was
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was who Crab Man was. Yeah.
I love Crab Man as well.
Yeah. My nephew was, but mainly that was Crab Man. My little nephew, that's how he talked and everything. So.
I just read the script and could hear Randy's voice the way I heard it, and that's what informed me of who Randy was.
And also tell them about that.
Yeah, there were a lot of eccentricities. Randy was relegated to the background quite a bit and had to find stuff to do. So I would just try to find things to do, and one of them was look for aliens, and I kind of figured Randy had a deviated septum, so his mouth was always open.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. I'll be back around for my second question.
Thank you. We got a question over here.
I actually have two. One's just kind of silly. friends and I have ever had like little catchphrases, it ends up sticking in your head. I'm wondering if after the show, any of you guys ever just wake up when you're by yourself and you're like, wakey, wakey.
Hey, dummy.
Wakey, wakey, hands off Snakey.
Oh, snap.
Bitch, you know I hate peas.
Yes. And my second question is for Jeannie. I know especially as a woman and a mother and working, sometimes society really just annoys you. And I'm wondering if part of playing Joy was maybe therapeutic to get some of your anger out. Like, did that like help you like in your everyday life, just being able to say stuff as Joy that you wouldn't necessarily say in your regular life?
Yeah, well, I mean, I say it in my regular life also. But one of the things that was amazing for me, yes, I got to say everything that every woman has always wanted to say but isn't allowed to. And she didn't know there was such thing as rules. And so she said what she meant and meant what she said. And she said whatever the hell she thought. There was no filter. Which I took a little bit after my grandmother, who was not, you know, she was a wealthy woman, right? But she'd be like, what happened to you? Looks like a cat sucked on that head. Talking about your hair, and you'd be like, Jesus. Like, when she just would say things between you, me, and the gatepost. I think he's gay. Like, she just had something to say about everybody, but also, she had a bunch of sons and a husband, and she was the queen, and so they let her say anything she wanted to, and I took a lot of that and put that into Joy. But it was, like I always say, she was my greatest release playing her. Like, I was exhausted at the end of every day that I came home in a great way. I loved it. But I think we're in a day and age now where you can pretty much say whatever the hell you feel, and you should.
You have a great voice, by the way.
Yeah.
Hi, I have a question for Eddie. I was curious, how did the idea come about for Crabman to be in the witness protection program? Was that a writer's creation? Did you suggest that? How did that come into play?
Yes, that was a writer's creation. I have no idea.
So remember, well, in the beginning, we found out that his real name, not in the beginning, what season was that when we found out your
He said two.
We found that out, and so that was just kind of them putting us in the witness protection, him in the witness protection program was a callback to that. But that was all in the writers. We had some of the most incredible writers you could ask for, that's for sure.
Yeah, we definitely didn't know that when it first started. I didn't know that he was a spy and all of these things. So.
Yeah, none of us did.
Well, it added a lot to the character in the show and the stories and everything.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, also because Crabman, seemed to be like the dumbest one in the room, but the truth is he was the smartest one. Always.
He was playing everybody.
I loved that. When the vote, the one where we were voting, we were sitting on the couch, and you and I are out, like we're standing there, and we're talking about electoral votes. We didn't know what we were talking about, and so he turns around and goes, the electoral vote is, and he just did. And what was my answer?
That must be some black stuff.
That must be some black stuff.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you always for wanting to make the trip out here. So I had a question. If the show is rebooted and they finally reveal,
Stop saying if and say when.
and when it's rebooted, been a fan since chapter jump. Good show. So when the show is rebooted, and Greg Garcia says, okay, we can have any celebrity out there in the zeitgeist be
the identity of Earl Jr.'s biological father. You can pick anybody. Whom would you pick? And I don't know your it can be anybody, regardless of Tom Cruise.
Well, who did he?
I think he said Little John or Dave Chappelle.
Tom Cruise, you
Dave
said?
Chappelle.
But I don't want to know from you.
Tom Cruise doesn't really work, buddy.
I want to see how that works though. That would be great.
You know who would be funny?
Lil Wayne.
Cat Stevens.
That's it.
Cat Stevens. That would be
It's
hilarious.
still alive.
Joy, did you see him going around going like, Joy, where's Earl Jr.? Like,
That's
you
Cat
could totally
Williams.
Cat
see
Williams.
that.
Cat Williams.
I said the
Totally different vibe.
totally different Cat Stevens.
Jason, who would you pick?
Yeah.
Who would you pick?
That's a really good question. I mean, I'd like to see it be Nescabar Lop.
That's what you said at the table. That was what you said at the table to me, right? Yeah.
I actually talked to Escobar about 2 weeks ago at Adelaide, and he wanted me to tell you guys that that show was the best time he's ever had in his life.
And it was for
He
all
was
of
great.
us.
He was awesome.
Ethan, who would
We
you
can
pick?
say the same.
I mean, your Cat Stevens pitch is a banger. Oh yeah, sure.
Cat Williams.
No, but I'm with Cat Stevens now. We could get some folk music. It could be really melodic. I don't think you could buy him as Earl Jr.'s dad at all. But
What about Dodge? Who could be Dodge's? We still don't know who his father is either.
Cat Stevens is still alive, according to Wikipedia.
Then it's possible.
Thank you.
Right over here.
Hi, my name is Tennessee. I was just
Your name is Tennessee?
Yes.
I love
I thought you said Hennessy.
You would think that.
I have a two-part question. I was just wondering, like, what was it like getting your role in this? What was like the casting process like? Were you like given the role, or did you have to like audition for it?
He was offered the role, and you were offered the role.
No,
You read
I just didn't. I refused to go to network and studio, but I did audition.
I got it. Greg Garcia was trying to get him to do it for a long time. Tell him what that was, because
Yeah, just getting the offer to play Earl, but not really knowing if I wanted to do network television. I don't think it was it wasn't very common, I don't think at that time, to sort of do like normal TV shows, quote unquote, you know, and then of course, once I decided to do it, it was, the right call for sure, because it was like, some of the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. And then I got to be I got to be there at the auditions, for some of the auditions, and it was amazing to see Eddie and Jamie come in. We knew right away, for you, Jamie, and Eddie too, but what's the thing that you did that Joy in the pilot that we knew right away was you were the right one?
Who's the whore?
Can you show everybody how you did it, please?
So, the very first line of my audition was, "Who's the whore?"
That's exactly how she did it in the room, and we knew right away that she was Joy.
And Greg Garcia always says, "She had me at who's the whore."
Yeah, it was really kind of intimidating. Everybody got kind of like, whoa. Like if we don't give her the part, she's gonna beat the shit out of us.
Well, and Eddie and I, so crazy because he had moved from New York, what, a year prior that we did that? 2 years? Did the movie prior to that.
I got cast in the movie we were both in, and I got the part, and they said, I got the part for this movie, and they told me, can you be here next week to shoot this movie? So I was living in New York, and I came on Thursday or Friday, whatever, talking to Randy Hill, the casting director, and I was in LA the next week to shoot this movie with Jamie called Torque.
Terrible movie with Ice Cube.
Yeah, motorcycle movie, terrible. But that's when we met,
And then that's where we met. And then randomly, how much later was it? Maybe less than a year later, I walk in and they had us stay if you were going to go to studio and read for them. So I walk in and they're like, we're gonna ask you to, my manager calls and says you're going to studio, and I was like, great, so just find a place to sit and they'll call you in. I was like, okay. And I'm walking down and I see him and I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm with the little crab man. I was like, get out of town. So it was weird because his very first job was actually with me on that film. And I mean, really all we did was smoke weed and ride scooters with Ice Cube.
That sounds like fun, actually.
It was amazing.
I got stoned and rode scooters with Ice Cube. What'd you do?
What did you do? I got paid for it.
Yeah, it's a great introduction to the movie.
Thank you so much.
But he got cast, by the way, because he was in this incredible Office Max commercial where he had this, he would step off of he was the rubber band man, and the song would play, and he had this great fro, and Greg Garcia saw that and was like, that's my crowd man.
Greg Garcia was a huge fan of that commercial, and he would argue with people online about why it was a good commercial or why they were wrong about what they were thinking of it, and he just
Who's
liked
even
it.
commenting about a commercial?
Tennessee, was there a second part to your question?
That was like, how did it feel like to get it? Like, you happy or like, okay, it's just another TV show?
I was very happy.
We were all very happy. This was not just another TV show. This was something we all knew was lightning in a bottle the second that we got on set together. Because what you felt when you watched it on television, and still to this day, what you feel when you see it, we all loved each other so, and still do love each other so much. The chemistry was so easy. It was palpable through the screen, and it still is. So when you're watching it, you can feel that everybody genuinely loves each other and wants to be there. And that is lightning in a bottle because it is rare, so rare to have that on any set.
At the time, I didn't know that it was lightning in a bottle. I thought it was Hollywood, and that's how things were, right? So I was like, oh, this is great. This is so much fun. And it wasn't until after that I realized that it was lightning in a bottle because
Other sets aren't like that.
I was shocked. I was blown away by how lucky we were to have experienced that.
And the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Come on, we just got started.
Alright, my question's pretty simple. You said you smoked and stuff with the Ice Cube movie. A lot of the show took place in a bar. Did you guys get to drink during filming? Smoke? No. I know a lot of sitcoms in bars do that, so I thought that was
Yeah, no, that was something that was not like a thing. We, we had a good, clean set.
For as funny as the show was, a lot of the episodes were message-based. Was there a message in particular that hit one of you guys while filming more than the others?
I think, just the overarching message of just trying to do good, ultimately. And I think what's cool about the character of Earl is that, once you lock into that and you kind of see this new way of looking at the world, there's no going back. And I like that you see Earl click into that. And he wouldn't change anything ever. He would never, ever, ever go back on his list and change his mind about doing good things. And I think that message was really powerful. That Earl became very reliable as a person that was just felt destined to just do good things and take self-inventory and reflect. That's extremely important. And I like that Earl was the example used for that message,
Yeah, I've always believed in karma and love Buddhism and all of that. But, karma is do good things happen, right? Do bad things happen, as Carson Daly said. But also, if you're Christian, it's do unto others as you have them do unto you, right? The golden rule is pretty much the same in every religion. And I love that the underlying message was that it's never too late to start over and fix what's broken, or what was broken. And that was something that was, really amazing that it had to do with winning the lottery, and because he's done so many bad things, he lost the ticket, and the second he started fixing things, he got it back. It just was there's just so much heart in this show. It was an honor to be a part of such a great message.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for giving us your time. Everyone, my name is Earl.
Thank you. Guys, thank you. Thanks for coming out, and sorry for the delay again, guys. Thanks for your patience.